Okay, if we could have your attention, please. We are now joined by our runner-up finisher, Elliott Sadler, driver of the number OneMain Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. Elliott, congratulations, another strong finish here in the chase. Just talk a little bit about your race and the momentum you have into the next race.
Yeah, we had a great race. I know I keep saying this, but so proud of my race team. We just kept working on the car, getting it better and better. And I got to do a better job of trying to run that 18 car. You know, he's really good, and he knows how to manipulate the air. And, you know, I got to keep fighting. But for us to kind of keep restarting on the bottom like we were and getting good runs, we got a good push there at the end of the last restart, which is always important. And we're able to come home with a second-place finish. So great start to the second round of chase for us. We get to go home now for 2 weeks and kind of regroup for the last 3 races. And it's good to go back and have the best finish of everybody racing the chase. It feels good. It'll keep some momentum on our side. But we're definitely looking forward to this 2-week break.
Great. We'll open it up for questions now for Elliott. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we will get a microphone to you. Okay, we'll start with Randy and then go back to Chris.
Yeah, I mean, you and Daniel kind of came in here 1-2, and I think you leave. I don't know if you've gained enough on him, or you're still.
I think we're still tied.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
I mean, so does it feel like something got out?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I shook Daniel's hand after the race, and he and I have been talking a lot lately too, because we've been parked beside each other in the garage. He's doing a wonderful job, and he's really coming to his own, especially the last half of the season. And he's so fast and has been so smart, and he and Scott Graves have done a wonderful job, just like I feel like Kevin and I have, of keeping ourselves in position, keeping ourselves up front, and getting maximum points each and every week. So I know I owe him a push from Kentucky, but he picked the outside lane, and I told him that I had to push Kyle there to see if I could get myself to the front. But Daniel's doing a really good job as well for their team. We feel like they're probably the strongest team in the chase right now. And we're going to have to keep showing up with strong race cars and getting good finishes, I think, to compete with them.
Go ahead, Chris.
Chris Knight, GetChance.com. Elliott, it seemed like the intensity in this race today had it similar to what we saw at Kentucky Speedway for the opening round. Did you feel that on the racetrack? And then I have a follow-up.
Yeah, it was really aggressive, especially on restarts, and I think you got to be. And we saw some accidents made and some wrecks happen. There was a lot of cautions today during the middle part of the race. I don't know what they all were, but it just seemed like Kentucky all over again. So, everybody, we're all starting off square, so you want to try to get a point here, get a point there, and be aggressive. And now people will play different strategies moving into Texas and Phoenix. But, we saw this, at Charlotte last week with the Cup guys for the first race of their second round of the chase. So when you start on an even playing field, everybody wants to get the edge. You want to get the advantage. So a lot of time that creates hard racing, that creates protecting your real estate, and that creates closer racing. And when you have closer racing, you have mistakes and sometimes have a lot of cautions.
And with a couple of chasers having big problems today, do you feel comfortable going into the break, knowing what position you're in, and do you feel like that you can point your way into the round of 4 if you have to?
Well, we're very happy the way today went. That could be us the next time at Texas, Chris, but it was really important for us to go into this 2-week break with momentum. The last thing you want to do is go in this 2-week break wondering, oh man, how bad are we out? What do we have to do at Texas? And have to stare at the points for 14 days before you can get back in a race car. So it feels good to be on top with Daniel with the 2-week break. We know what we need to do in these next 2 weeks to get a car ready for Texas and Homestead and work through that. So we've got a really good plan laid out, but it definitely helps to get to put your best foot forward. It definitely does.
Final questions for Elliott. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in 2 weeks. Yeah, thank you. Okay, if we could have your attention, please. We are now joined by our third-place finisher, Daniel Suarez, driver of the number 19 ARRIS Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Daniel, congratulations on a great finish. If you could just talk a little bit about your race and the momentum that your team has leading into this 2-week break.
Yeah, I think it was a good result. Overall, the entire 19 ARRIS Toyota Camry team, they did a good job. The car was fast. The balance of the car was really good. But for some reason, we went through a lot of adversity in this race. We had some issues with the engine or something like that that was making to lose some horsepower. And that happened very early in the race. I felt like I was going to to have some issue, but luckily we finished the race and we finished in a good position. I wasn't expected to finish that good, but the strategy and like I said, the good team, good calls put us in a good spot to be contending actually for the win. But right there in the last restart, we just didn't have the power to move forward as good as the 18 and the 1. But it's how it works sometimes. I think it's a good starting spot again for the second round of the chase, and we move to the next one.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions. We'll start in the back with Chris and then come up to the front.
Chris Knight, CatchFans.com. Daniel, did the vibration continue throughout the whole race, and how worried were you that something was going to happen?
Well, it wasn't a vibration. It was something else. It was something else, another kind of issue, but it wasn't a vibration. And that issue was making the car just being more tight. The car wasn't rolling as free as normally does. And obviously, when you have that kind of issues, you don't have the same horsepower. I wasn't able to do anything on restarts. Every single restart, I was losing positions, except of one, the previous to the last one, because we had tires and we were on the outside line. But when we were in the bottom, I wasn't able to do anything. I didn't have obviously help, and I didn't have the power to do anything. But like I said, it's how it works sometimes. Normally we don't have any kind of issues, and this time we did a little bit, and it's good. I feel like we end up in a good spot anyway, and we move to the next one with another strong finish.
Go ahead.
Sean Roney, Dos Mundos newspaper. Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong. You were in a similar situation when you raced here last year in the Toyota Tundra series in the camping truck race, where you have the lead late during a caution, lose it in a restart. In what ways did that race maybe help prepare you for the finish of this race, where that rather than having to drop back to about 6, you were able to run top 3?
Honestly, I don't even remember which race you are talking about. But the last race here in the Xfinity Series definitely helped me. It's just my second time here, and I feel like we've been pretty strong. Last year we were running in the top 3 pretty much most of the race, and I made a mistake in the last race, and we finished in the top 10. But overall, I like this place. This place has been good to me so far. We just have to put ourselves in a little better position to try to win the race. I feel like today we did a good job. We just didn't have the perfect luck to have the perfect car at the end to try to win this thing.
Any final questions for Daniel? Okay, we'll go here in the back.
Brian Eberle, Motorsports Tribune. Daniel, after I think 16 straight weekends for the Xfinity Series, you've got a couple weeks off. What do you have planned for the time coming up?
Well, it's been a while since the last time I went to Mexico to visit my family, my mom, my sisters, my dad. My dad was here last week, but I'm really looking forward to go over there. We're going to do something fun with the people from NASCAR, and it's going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to spend 1 week over there and then coming back and spend the other half weekend racing in trucks in Martinsville. So it's going to be a good time, and I'm looking forward to enjoy it.
Any last questions? All right, Daniel, thank you for your time. Enjoy your break.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, if we could have your attention, please. We are now joined by our winning crew chief, Chris Gayle, as well as Steve DeSouza, Executive Vice President of the NASCAR Xfinity Development for Joe Gibbs Racing. Congratulations, gentlemen, on a great win this afternoon. If we could just start with Chris, talk a little bit about this afternoon's win from your perspective.
Yeah, I thought it was started off pretty good. Thought it was going to be an easy, kind of simple day. Lead all the laps, sit out front, and not have any trouble. And the way that caution fell, you had a couple guys there that when they're not leading the race, they kind of are able to play and dictate strategy because they come in and take tires or take fuel where they can go longer. And then the way that caution flag fell, 4 or 5 guys hadn't cycled through yet, so it just trapped us when we were in the lucky dog spot. So that made it a little challenging. And then you kind of restart on the bottom for a few restarts there. And I know Kyle, you could hear in his voice a little bit frustrated, wondering if he's going to get back up there to the lead. So that was it. Once I had that final restart, and then we're able to clear everybody after the incident there with the 20, 42, and 3, then it was pretty much smooth sailing there. kind of what we expected from earlier part of the day.
Okay, this is the 11th victory this season for the number 18 team. So Steve, if you could just talk a little bit about the success of this program and what it means to your organization.
Well, you're right. It's been a tremendous year, and of course, we're getting down towards the end now, and everything counts at a lot higher scale. And Chris Gayle has done just a phenomenal job leading his group, and really is the senior member of our crew chiefs in all three teams. He's done a good job working with the other two as well, and so it's been a real effort on the part of everybody at the shop and Toyota, of course, our sponsor NAS, and Kyle's assistants helping with everybody really benchmarking our program, and then obviously the work he does on the racetrack is phenomenal.
If you have a question for Chris or Steve, please raise your hand. We will get a microphone to you. We're also joined now by our race-winning driver, Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 NOS Energy Drink Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. This is his 9th victory and 13th top 10 finish in 2016. So Kyle, congratulations. If you wouldn't mind, just talk us through your race this afternoon.
I appreciate it. Thanks. It was certainly a good day for us, and there was a lot of obstacles and a lot of things that were trying to work against us there and trying to prohibit us from getting to victory lane today. But somehow we maybe got a little bit lucky on our side, and we were able to get through that last few restarts there. There was a lot of restarts today in general, but overall there, those last few were certainly a lot of things going on. A lot of guys had a lot of pride on the line and whatnot, so we just wanted to be able to go out there and get a win and leave everybody else to battle on behind us, you know. So glad that we were able to sneak out front when we could there and get a good restart with Elliott Sadler pushing us behind. So good day.
Okay, if you have a question, please raise your hand. We will get a microphone to you. We'll start here in the front and then with Randy.
Sean Roney, Dos Mundos newspaper. Kyle, was it just strictly Elliott pushing you from behind that benefited you on that last restart where you were able to overtake the 19 car who had obviously benefited from the 2 restarts before that?
Yeah, definitely. Elliott was, he had a stout car on restarts today, and being able to get up through the gears, he was really fast, so he was able to push us each and every time he was behind us. So, I thought that I got lucky with the lane selection there. Suarez obviously took the top. I would have thought Larson would be pretty good at pushing too, but Elliott was just a bit better today. So certainly that was a key moment to the race. I still think even if Suarez got a good jump that we probably could have passed him in the late going there. Our car just seemed to hang on in the long runs way better than everybody else, even though we were only 12 laps from the finish or so.
Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, Kyle, Randy Kovitz, Kansas City Star. Your 3rd straight Xfinity win here. You won last May in the Cup. You qualified well yesterday. And to think you used to hate this place. just kind of talk about just how you're feeling at Kansas Speedway right now. Your 6th win here, and that's more than anybody.
Yeah, it's good to be able to win here in anything, really, but it's more important on Sundays, obviously. So we'd certainly like to get that M&M's Camry to victory lane, but that NOS Energy Drink Camry was awesome today. Gayle and these guys just continue to impress and put fast cars out there, so we didn't want to screw that up. But just being able to get better here, I think over the years has been because the track is aging and the track's getting some character to it. It's starting to get a little bit bumpy in some areas. It's starting to widen out for sure in some areas. I mean, we saw the cars being able to run from the bottom all the way to half a width off the wall, I'd say. So that's a pretty good amount of track that we're using up. And tomorrow, I suspect it'll be all of the racetrack if the sun comes out and gets a bit sunny. So. It's certainly, what else? Just becoming more character. It's aging. It's good.
Additional questions? Okay, gentlemen, thank you for coming in. Congratulations.
All right.
Easy night for you.
Yeah.